Welcome to the TELUS STORYHIVE On Location, Nanaimo. We're coming to you live from the traditional and ancestral territories of the Nanaimo peoples. I'm Jordan Dack, producer, poet, songwriter, and your host on this deep dive into the creative process, creative or die. I am grateful, I am blessed to be joined by, for myself, one of the legends of hip hop right now, Golden BSP. If you don't know Golden BSP, you will by the end of this podcast. And for those that don't know right now, you want to share a couple sentences about yourself? Bring them into your world?
Yeah, Golden BSP. It's just my musical journey so far. Don't really know what else to say about that. Yeah, It's just rap stuff.
Rap stuff. What is rap stuff to you these days? What's it look like?
What does the scene look like?
Yeah. What does the scene look like? And is it a scene that you want to be a part of or don't want to? Or what's it all about for you?
Yeah, the scene changes quickly. I don't know. It seems pretty good right now. I don't dig into a lot of new stuff at the moment. I've been listening to a lot of older music, but I like 1900 Rugrat as a new guy. It's pretty good and funny. The LP Kosher's funny and really good as well. Yeah.
You're the kind of person. Okay, so I was listening to one of your tracks earlier today, and actually just before you showed up, and it sounded to me like the kind of music someone makes when they've been doing it for a while, but somehow they've managed to keep that like edgy relevance, like they're still hungry or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, how do you, maybe you don't even agree with, I don't know if you agree with that, but how do you do that after being in an art form for a period of time and it still sounds fresh?
I just try and keep it fresh. I have pockets that I use for different things. I don't think I sound the same on a lot of songs. A lot of different. I don't know. I just study music, and if I like something, I make it my own. And sometimes I get in a pocket for a while in a certain style, and then I feel bored of it, and I'll try something else for a while, and just like to keep everybody guessing what it will sound like next.
Yeah. Like there's many different influences that go into who you are as an artist.
Yeah.
And it's not just music, right? Like you're a visual artist as well. And can you speak a bit about that, about the different types of art that go into Golden BSP?
Painting right now is like what I like to do on my like free time. Writing is more of like, I wouldn't say a task, but like it's like part of a job now. So it's like, I feel like before, when you start writing and when you start wanting to be a rapper, like writing is like your like emotional outlet, and it still is. Like there's times, but like painting right now is like what I crave doing, just because it clears your mind. Like, is where like writing music is like part of like the stress now, honestly.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to like get things off your chest when you write certain songs. You're like, okay, you finally like real emotional stuff. It's nice to lay those down, but like even like touching on stuff like that, it's like therapy sessions. So like painting is nice to like free your mind with.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Cooking is fun too. Like I used to eat out every day. Nothing in the fridge ever, just every meal. And it's nice to cook and like chill out and paint, and I'm just trying to vibe, and you know what I mean? Like,
so when you write a song, are you like, what makes you run for the pen to write down? Like, is there any certain pieces of inspiration that you find around you that makes you like really want to get down to write something?
Yeah, yes. I mean, every song is, the process is different. Sometimes you feel like you need to get something out and like emotional, and you need to dig. Sometimes you just want to make a catchy song and follow a formula,
Mm,
and sometimes make a funny song, or it's,
mm,
I don't know, like there's certain times I get in pockets where I'm like really into making funny songs for a while, and then I'll have a bunch, and then I'm like overdoing that, and I'll make like some emotional songs, and then like,
yeah.
so
Yeah, you go through seasons almost.
yeah,
Eh?
exactly. Or different, if sometimes I'm like, oh man, I've been making too many sad songs, now I need to make like a funny song, and then I make too
Mm,
many funny songs, and I'm like, I need to make a serious song, and then I like make too many serious songs, and
yeah.
it's kind of how it goes.
That's interesting because I think a lot of people, like, I think you need to have been writing for a long time to be able to make those switches
Mm.
intentionally. It's,
There are different rating processes too. Like when I rate funny songs, I tend to just compile a lot of phrases, or like sentence, or not sentences, of like word couples, like, and I'll just rate down like N words,
hmm
and then just like pack it as full of like the same rhyming words and as funny as I possibly can, and that's usually how you get the good, like at like
Gotcha.
Eminem style structure songs that are like
Yeah.
funny and really like, holy, he's rapping really good. And then sometimes if you want to make emotional songs, you don't need to like be rhyming like within rhymes and all that. You kind of more trying to touch on emotion, and like making sure that like the people feel something from it. It doesn't need to be as technical as much as it needs to like bring the feeling.
That's brilliant, man. I've never heard it broken down like that, but it's
Yeah.
so true. Like even like an emotional song, if it were to be too technical, it might even distract from the emotion.
The thing is, like, the most simplest songs often hit the hardest,
Mhm.
um because if you can make something simple mean something to the most people,
Mm,
that's when it hits the hardest. It's like, that's why the Beatles is really good. It's
yeah,
like, here comes the sun. Like, it's the simplest thing
yeah,
that you can think of, but it's just like it resonates with everybody. You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? Like, so there's also a thing like, I read like The Weeknd or like Drake, like they like make themselves really vulnerable and then back it up with like confidence, or like
Mm,
super confident, vulnerable, super confident, vulnerable, super confident, vulnerable.
wow.
And that's like what makes people fall in love with their story, is they're like, this guy is the man, but oh, he's so broken. Oh, I feel like that. So it's like
Wow.
when you can like when you can like when you can like be vulnerable and tell people your story, but at the same time, like, not seem weak.
hmm
I think that's how a lot of these pop songs are made. And like, as the least amount of words that you can say, like a feeling, and still make it feel big, I think that's how you get good emotional songs.
That literally that just blew my mind. Like
Yeah.
that idea of confidence mixed with vulnerability.
Hmm.
You know who it reminds me of is Tupac, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of
Like,
Tupac's music, like mega confidence,
yeah,
right? But mega vulnerability too at the same time.
100%. Yeah.
And that is a potent mixture.
Yeah, because like Drake will say something like, woke up in the fanciest hotel, blah, blah, blah. But this chick's not sitting in my bed no more, and it's
Right.
like, oh, he lost the girl, but he's still chilling in the
Yeah,
baddest
going
suite. You know what I
down,
mean?
yeah.
Or like driving in my Rolls Royce alone. Da, 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 da. It's like, you know, or like
Totally.
it's just like that's the formula for like those big guys, because like makes the girls like makes the guys feel like they can be vulnerable and like they can touch on that side, and makes the girls be like, oh, that guy's the best, and
Yeah.
I need to fix him or something, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and I guess it also makes them like still relatable, even
Hmm.
though their level of fame and wealth is not relatable to most of their
Exactly.
listeners.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's
So I've thought so much about, song structure formulas and rhyme schemes and things like that, but like emotional formulas or confidence, vulnerability formulas,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the next level.
Yeah, it's just touching on emotions, right? Like, yeah, that's why the Beatles is great. It's just like very, very subtle. Like the feeling is so easy to digest. And
Hmm.
it's when you overcomplicate things, then it dulls it down for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
here comes the sun. But if they say, here comes the sun in Florida, it doesn't matter as much. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's just simple. Keep it simple. Keep it like digestible for as many people as you can. I'm not a master. I like none of this I'm saying I'm great at, but like I think that's how like good hit songs are made.
Yeah.
Is
Although I do think that this does speak to a lot of your music though, now that you're sharing it, and I'm thinking
Mhm.
about your catalog and about how some of your songs hit so hard because there is honesty and vulnerability, but you approach it with such confidence that
Mhm.
it's exactly what you're talking about. So
Yeah, as long as you can like not take yourself seriously,
mm,
but know that like you are serious. It's like if that makes
yeah,
sense.
it does.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everyone should write that down. Don't take yourself seriously, but know that you are serious.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you don't need to be the best all the time, but just know that like if you got your structure and your formula, and you just like keep going with it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now tell me about the process around creating visuals for your music.
Mm.
S- Do you see visuals while you're writing, or is it like something that happens afterwards?
All depends on the song. Sometimes I see things that I know I can't create because it will cost too much.
Hmm.
Like sometimes you make songs and I'm like, oh my, like if I had the money to make this, it could be insane. But
Yeah.
like sometimes, you know, you gotta just make what you can make with what you have, and sometimes the you spend 10,000 on a video, and the next video you don't spend any on it. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I write down every single scene like second by second, like, and follow it. And sometimes you just look for an aesthetic, or
Mm-hmm.
it's always different. Just like making songs, there's no formula, but I would say that I'm good at like coming up with things
Mm-hmm. Like your approach, or rather, the way that you see putting the time into those sorts of things, has that changed
over the
over the
years.
years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I used to like, it might sound depressing. I used to love making music videos. I used to wake up, eat, breathe
Mm.
this rap stuff. Like every single thing was a new, fresh experience, right? When you first get into this,
Yeah.
the moments hit harder. You know, you remember the things, and moments mean more. But as you go along, and more things happen, the highs and the lows of being a rapper, it doesn't hit as hard as much anymore. And you're still passionate, but like that's like the drive is hard to
Yeah.
continue to strive for. And I'm sure lots of artists love every moment of the way, every day, but I would be lying to say that that's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I have a hunch that most people who've been at it for a bit probably feel the same way.
Yeah, and it is what it is. Like I rate, like I wrote a music video the other day and I'm excited to make it. Like I'm excited to see it done. I'm not excited to make it.
Yeah, that's a good distinction.
You know what
right?
I mean? Like I used to be stoked to make them,
Yeah.
show up and like it was like this is awesome, but like do it so many times, man. It's just like it's part of the job. It's a job, and people can say you love what you do. You'll never work a day in your life. It's still work. I don't care what anybody
100%.
says. Like
100%.
it's still work, and there's days that I wake up and I don't want to make music, and I just do anyways.
Yeah.
And some days I want to quit, and some days I'm like, oh man, I have so much more fire. Every day is different, right? Like,
And you do it anyways, and
that's part of the, yeah.
Discipline.
This year I'm trying really hard to be disciplined because last year I didn't put out that much music, so I'm putting out a song a week this year, and it's definitely a lot of work, but
dude, a song.
and I'm not excited to keep doing it. I'm not excited that I made that claim publicly.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be good for my discipline, and
yeah, you probably won't regret that.
no, I'm like 2 months ahead of myself, or like 3 months ahead of myself, like with the releases ready. So
Okay.
it's just yeah.
So
I'll probably be finished the year and have it all uploaded by like the end of May, and then it will be less stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
But
sure.
um,
So then take me into, so you're a pretty prolific writer then, eh? When you are creating your stuff, like take me into that world. I know it's probably different each song, but can you tell me what it looks like from beginning
my
to
rating process.
Yeah.
I have like this room. I made like a hippie 70s room in my house. So I wake up, I drink coffee, I go into that room, and I try and rate um, 2 to 4 songs like in a session. I try and rate at least 2 songs a day, like it not a day, but when I'm writing.
When you're writing.
Right now, I'm trying to make 8 songs a month. Um, so, and then I'll go record all the songs. I'll write 8 songs, and then I go record them all, and then I slowly send those off to get mixed as I write the next 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you think that the way that you feel about painting now is how you once felt about writing?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the outlet, right? Like, and it's a job now. It wasn't a job before, and it's like it's okay that sometimes I don't want to be doing these things. You got to do it. Like, I'm sure like people that own like construction companies are stoked that they have construction companies, but don't want to do it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It's part of the journey, right?
You sound extremely disciplined then, hey? Is that like, I can't imagine you getting to where you are now without a certain level of discipline.
It's all that I have.
Yeah.
Is discipline. Because I'm a good rapper, but I wouldn't say I'm better than the next rapper. I have good songs, but like there's so many rappers, and I've met more talented rappers than me that aren't doing anything because they don't have the drive. They don't have this is another thing that Drake said. I can't remember the exact phrasing of it, but like he said there's like, to be a really successful artist, you have to be good at like 8 of the 10 things. There's like 10 things to being like a successful artist, and rapping is just one of them.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like rapping, communication, like showing up, like planning, like getting like all these things like add up. There's 10 different things, and like Drake is like, I have 8 of these things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm successful. I probably have like 5. You know what I mean? So it's like, to be a really successful artist, you have to be talent, and rapping is like probably the least important part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Realistically, how many rappers do you know that are terrible, that are killing it because they're good at all the other things?
Most of them.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just the way it is, right? Like, you have to be dedicated, and you have to like you have to struggle, and it's just the way it is to make it, right? Like, you have to be in the right places and know what the right places to be in are, and you have to just manifest it. And when you manifest it, you have to follow through with the planning and everything, right?
Yeah, regardless of whether you feel like it or not that day, hey?
You show up.
You show up anyways. And like when you were talking about the different ways you approach, say, a funny song versus a reflective song,
Mm-hmm.
like it sounds like you've really figured out some things that that you can follow.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage to follow a formula while still making it sound fresh? Like I never listen to one of your songs and go, oh, that sounds like the last song,
It's tough because there's certain formulas that, like, I don't want to tell you the formulas, because then you'll be like, oh, now I hear it.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like, there is certain styles of how to make, or how I make my songs, where like, and every beat is different.
Yeah.
Every beat is different, right? So like, it's just the formula of writing like funny songs. It's just like, I write on a piece of paper, like Mary Poppins, like very gothic, and like I'll do that as many times as I can, and then use those to like, I'll pull one from down here and like just mix it all up. It's like a puzzle, and then by the time it's done, like,
that's brilliant.
That's the funny songs, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes even emotional songs, you could be like, it's easier to write like a full line of an emotional song, and then try and come up with a full line but like, same thing, like there's certain, or just like phrases or like whatever, I don't know, every time it's just writing music. I like write other kinds of music too, that like I just find it's interesting, like I like just studying like songwriting and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're a student of the craft too. Yeah.
I made a goth album, like we recorded all the instruments, full album that I haven't put out yet.
What?
Is really sick, but I just don't know how to release it yet, because it's so different. Like, and it's just like doing that was like making a rap song for the first time.
Yeah.
Like when I like hit my buddy up, and I'm like, I want to make a goth album. And like, I'm not mean like goth rap, I mean like real goth music.
Goth album.
Yeah. And like making that album was so fun. Every day I felt like when I was made my first songs, so that's fun. Like, that's new, that's creative. It doesn't feel, there's no pressure to it. It's been sitting in a folder for like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
2 years ago you put it together?
Like a year and a half. Yeah. And it's gonna come out eventually, but my buddies like signed to a label, and they showed some interest, but it's very Halloweeny. So like, Halloween passed when or it was like Halloween was about to show up, and when they were interested, and then like it passed, and I'm just waiting for Halloween to come again. But like, still, like, it has to be perfect before I drop it. But
that's dope though. But
yeah, it's fun, like listening to a certain music, and like when I started digesting all of the Beatles, I was rating like folk songs, or like really into Bob Dylan for a while, and I wrote like songs like that just for fun. Like, I have songs sitting that like I can't sing like that, but like if somebody took that song, it would be a great song. You know what I mean? So I like songwriting all kinds.
So when you record, do you have a studio at home, or do you have a certain studio?
I used to be so picky. Like, this is the thing, I used to be really picky. I like started like not really when I first started just recording where I could, and then I always found that I couldn't find the sound that I wanted.
Hmm.
I didn't feel like I ever sounded good enough. So then when I finally found that like perfect sound, like, and I got auto tune to sound good with me, I was like, oh, this is it. And that person was the best, still the best, but
Mhm.
very expensive. And I was spending so much money, and eventually, like within the last year, I just kind of was just like, it's like back to the basics,
Yep.
like how my mind is kind of, I'm trying to like reroute it back to the beginning and try and be like, it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be like, I'm not saying like it doesn't have to be perfect, but like I've been like going for a rawer sound. I haven't been using auto tune on any songs this
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
So it's just like I used to want to be in the studio, like record in the studio, make the beat with the person, and like really be hands on. And
Yeah.
like it was just a lot of money and it was fun. But now it's just like I just get the beats, I record, like, or I get a homie to pull up, I pay somebody to pull up,
Mhm.
set up a studio in the house,
Yeah.
record it, and then I send it off to Zimbabwe,
Yeah. Crazy.
and it's cheaper. I don't think it matters now. I'm
Yeah.
just like I as maybe that's not a good thing, but like I'm just trying not to care so much, and like I'm trying to just like be raw and let it go, like,
Yeah.
and not be so like hard on myself, or
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funner to just like hit the song, send it off. Like I used to need to sound perfect when I'm recording, like dial in how I sound,
Mm.
and when I record it, like it has to that perfect sound. I need to be able to hear it while I'm recording. And now, like I record, I'm like, does this even sound good? Like I don't know. Let's send it off,
Send
and
it
then I
off.
get it back, and it sounds great. I'm like, okay, okay, it's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's
That's a
kind of my
great.
mind state right now.
Yeah.
Is like it used to be hard for me to like let other people deal with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. It's kind of like a full circle to.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to full circle it and get the passion back. It's just,
For
you know,
sure.
it's I still love this, and like some songs I'm like, this is awesome, but like making all these reels and stuff ain't my jam, and it is what it is, man.
Yep.
And
Got to do it anyways. But yeah,
it's hard to be funny and rapping every single day.
that's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you can believe it, we're
We're
basically
rapping.
at the done here, and basically at the end here. But I was wondering, hoping that maybe you could spit a little
Yeah.
for us before we sign off.
Yeah, I can spit. So this one's coming out next week, next Friday. I don't know when this drops, so it might not. The live streamers, it's coming out next Friday.
Sweet.
Let's see. Listen to your heart is what he told me. Words from my OG way back when I wasn't Goldie. That homie died though, had the rest of us pouring 40s and another and another. My brothers, they left me lonely. Fill up my cup with that soda I pour in codeine. All the pills, they destroy me, but help me out with avoiding the issues when I be missing my family. Got me hoping that the pieces of my life I left broken will end in closure. Drowning in liquor, it's crazy to think I'm sober, and I ain't gonna lie about it. Sometimes I find it annoying that I put the bottle down, but I'm glad that that phase is over because I learned from those mistakes. Now my brain, it remains in focus. Yeah,
Thank you for
yeah,
sharing.
no problem, man. Yeah, that one's a Listen to Your Heart remix next week.
Oh yeah, on cassette coming out.
I wish. Yeah, no.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Well,
Thanks
it's
for
fun.
doing this, man.
I don't like interviews, and it was fun, man. I'm glad we did it,
Hey,
and
I appreciate you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's it's always fascinating to jump into the mind of a creator, but I don't always get the opportunity to get in someone's mind who's quite as creative as you are.
I
So
appreciate that,
it's
man.
great.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right, friends. Be well. Thank you to TELUS and to all the wonderful people who make this happen. Thanks to House of Owl for making this creative thing go, and also to Donna Did It for supplying some of the gear here today. Be well. We'll see you next time. Well, that wraps up another Story Hive on location Nanaimo. If you have a story to tell and you want to be featured on this show, just scan the QR code and apply to be a guest. Until then, this is Jordan Dack with StoryHive On Location, Nanaimo. I look forward to connecting again soon. Be well.